stories of the day. And let's start here with the Cowboys because they just had a little bit of a press conference yesterday. A lot of information on Dak, a lot of information on Zeke. So we can go through this article and see what Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy are saying about their players heading into training camp. And now they're on Hard Knocks. And we're going to get that great behind the scenes look, folks. Cannot wait to watch Hard Knocks for this Cowboys team, folks. Remember, we got some narratives already written for this Cowboys team going into training camp. Can Mike McCarthy coach? That's a big one. Can Dan Quinn coach? Once again, that's another big one. And can Zeke get back to prime form? So that's the three big narratives that we are going to be watching on this Cowboys training camp, and especially kind of analyzing everything that we see in Hard Knocks coming up as well. So we get our first little insight on what they're saying, so let's jump right into this article and let's see what the Cowboys coaches and front office is expecting from their team this year. Here we go. The Cowboys learned plenty about change, expectations, and disappointment in 2020. Truly big disappointment. Yes, we all know Dak got injured, but there is still no excuse that offense and team just could not put it together and at least win the division, folks. I mean, we're talking about 8 wins the division, and they still couldn't even get that without Dak. That's really, really not good, folks, everywhere. Offense, defense, head coach, everything. All the players, really true letdown last season when Dak went down. A 6-10 record and a third-place finish in a putrid NFC East, truly putrid, will have that effect. But for Dallas, a season of underachievement won't subtly relegate the Cowboys to the abyss of irrelevance in the NFL. In fact, the result was quite the opposite. Not just quite yet. I mean, we still gotta play. I mean, you could still fall into the abyss. I mean, this NFC East could still be real solid. The Giants should be way better than what they were last season. So, the Cowboys thinking, hey, we're gonna be way better than last season. The Giants are thinking the same thing. So the Cowboys cannot be entering this season thinking that, hey, we're, oh my God, we didn't have our quarterback and we still almost won the division. We were like half a game away from actually winning the division, so we're going to be absolutely even better than last year. Well, every team is thinking that, especially that Giants team that's getting better and healthier, and Saquon Barkley back in Washington now that they have a real solid quarterback. Folks, they had a new quarterback basically every single week, and every single quarterback that they threw out there was just really, really below average, like tier 3 quarterback in this league. Dwayne Haskins, Alex Smith, and Taylor Heineke. I mean, you're not winning games consistently against good teams with that level of quarterback play. Now you bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's got a nice little veteran presence around him, and Washington is going into this season thinking that, hey, we won 7 games last season, we're gonna win a lot more this year. So this Cowboys team cannot get kind of ahead of themselves in thinking that they're a shoo-in to win this division. The work still needs to be put in, and hopefully the Cowboys don't just let all this kind of publicity go to their head, have all this, oh, well, we got Dak back, so we're easily going to win the division, go to their head, and then they don't go out and perform on the field because that defense is still going to be absolutely trash, and they're going to have to overcome that. So, already getting into this article, I'm a little nervous for this Cowboys team and what they're thinking and just their overall mindset that they are kind of, guaranteed front runners of this NFC East. Going into, before we have kind of our season reset and we officially look at all the numbers of what happened last season and all of that, I'm having this kind of Giants team above the Cowboys in the division. I think I go Giants, Cowboys, Washington, Eagles. I think that's how I rank the division before we kind of get into our reset and before we get into training camp. So pull it back a little bit, Cowboys. Pull it a tad back. But let's continue on. Here we go. The 2021 Cowboys will have NFL films and HBO sports lurking around every corner of their training camp. Such is the life of being America's team. The added attention is nothing new to the Cowboys, yet it seems Dallas is embracing the challenge of a brighter spotlight. Take Ezekiel Elliott, for example, a star running back who didn't look much like one in 2020. Absolutely. Here we go. Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy spoke with media members Wednesday and said Elliott has been around the team during most of the offseason preparing for the 2021 campaign. Elliott is taking matters seriously, attending not only his position group meetings, but the quarterback and offensive line sessions too, McCarthy said. Quote, he's been a great example. That's great. All right, now we can start buying Ezekiel Elliott a little bit more. And I'd love to, kind of buy into him. The running backs in this league, when they're elite, they are one of the best things to watch on NFL Sundays, folks. I mean, when we were watching Derrick Henry go for his 2,000-yard campaign last season, I mean, man, that's almost must-watch television. So if Ezekiel Elliott can get back up to, what we say his prime status, the narrative that we're watching for, I mean, now we can buy this Cowboys team even more. So love that Ezekiel Elliott is truly putting in the work. Like the article said, like we've said, last year was just super underwhelming by everybody, and especially Ezekiel Elliott for not stepping up. He didn't even have 1,000 yards rushing last season. How is that even possible when you have to work with Andy Dalton for the bulk of the season? I never got that. I still don't get it. It's been almost a full year, and I still am puzzled and perplexed on what the hell the Cowboys were thinking last year offensively. You better run that man into the ground this year, folks. Jeez. But I'm glad that, he's energetic. He's going to the quarterback meetings, the offensive line meetings, all that to truly understand this offense and to truly be ready week 1 to have that all-star campaign. So watch out for Zeke this year, folks. All right, let's continue with the article here. Elliott is far from the only star with a camera lens trained squarely on his face. Dak Prescott is returning from a significant ankle injury that torpedoed Dallas's 2020 campaign, and he'll undoubtedly be a central focus of both Hard Knocks and the media attention from the start of the camp. And that is, true. I mean, we have to see how Dak is going to, recover from that injury. But like we said, he's like the one that we are least worried about. We know what Dak does. Dak's always had real solid years. Let's go to his stats really quickly here. Here we go. Dak Prescott. I mean, I don't think this man's ever had really a bad year just as a pure quarterback. His pure numbers, what do we get? I mean, look at these completion percentage, folks. I mean, this is what we're loving right here. From 2016 to 2020, this is what we got. 67%, 62, 67, 65, 68. So exactly in the range, folks. He's thrown for 4,000 yards once. In 2019, he threw for 4,900 yards. Ooh, man, that's fantastic. See, we're not worried about this man. We're not. He's got 3,800 yards, 3,600. Once again, it's real good for, especially when you have Ezekiel Elliott to kind of workhorse running back that was rushing for about 1,600 yards his first couple of years there. And then the touchdown and interception ratio is always 2-1. This is just going from 2016 to 2020. We got 23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I mean, what the hell? That's a great rookie year, folks. 67% completion percentage and then 23 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions, and he played every single game? Oh, my goodness. Fantastic. Year 2, 2017, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Not 2-1, but close, little outlier season. We'll give him a little bit of a pass. Because he makes up for it kind of 2018, 22 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 2019, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and then just last season, only played 5 games, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So we're not worried about Dak Prescott. The arm is always going to be there. The weapons are there. And the kind of mainstream narrative is that, Dak is only really good when he's got elite wide receivers around him. A lot of people credit Dak's success to Amari Cooper. Yeah, I think it helps out a little bit. I mean, if we're going to kind of go down that route, then you have to kind of say the same thing about Josh Allen with Stephon Diggs, because Josh Allen has not had a good year without Stephon Diggs. So if we're going to kind of play that with Dak Prescott, you're going to have to play that with a lot of other quarterbacks around the league. And that's why I don't truly buy into that narrative that Dak is truly only good when he's got elite receivers around him. I still think he's a real solid option out there. Obviously, weapons. Everybody wants weapons. They make you better. They allow you to make those more dangerous throws. That's why, Aaron Rodgers is butthurt with the Packers organization because he doesn't feel like he's getting all the weapons he should be getting. But we're not worried about Dak. We don't even have him in our narratives, folks. That is not a narrative that we are watching for because we're already just assuming he's going to be fine. We assume the ankle's really not going to be that much of an issue anymore, and he's still going to be that great leader and great thrower of the football. So we're more concerned with Zeke. We just saw him for the entire year last year and was looking absolutely trashed the entire year. If Dak, we don't really picture Dak doing that ever. So, and then, Mike McCarthy, his coaching, because why did he not run Ezekiel Elliott 1,000 times last season? That makes no sense. The fact that Ezekiel Elliott didn't have 1,000 yards last season, that is big old red flags to us. When your main quarterback goes down and you have to rely on your running back that you've already paid big money to and you don't give him 1,000+ yards rushing, we can't get behind that. And then Dan Quinn. Obviously, the defense was trash last season. Dan Quinn was still kind of questionable. He's a big question mark whether he's a good defensive coordinator or not in this league. And that's a little bit more of an interesting narrative to us than is Dak Prescott going to be good. So, yeah, obviously, we'll watch Dak Prescott on Hard Knocks, obviously. But it's like, we're not worried about him. Let's see the other narratives that we're trying to watch for. But let's get back to the article here. McCarthy believes Prescott is prepared for the challenge and is in a good place on his path back to the field as the Cowboys meet for training camp this week. Quote, I see for him to be a full participant. It's still a projection. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, we'll watch it. But, they're coming out to training camp this week. They start this week. They start a week earlier, like we said, just because they had that the first game of the season. Cowboys-Bucks, going to be a great one. I believe on Thursday Night Football, September 9th. I believe that's the date. They're expecting him to be good. It's still a projection, they say, but, we're talking about a couple of days. You know what I mean? So, truly think he's going to be all right there. Really no issue here with Dak Prescott. Hopefully, knock on wood. We're kind of tossing that out there all willy-nilly. All right, what else do we get here in this article? Here we go. The Cowboys' chances rest on the status of Prescott, whose departure forced Dallas to turn to Andy Dalton, Ben DiNucci, and Garrett Gilbert through the remainder of the ill-fated 2020 campaign. After delaying signing Prescott to a lucrative long-term deal ahead of the 2020 season, Dallas quickly learned how important Prescott was to the franchise once he was no longer available. Once again, Jerry Jones, I think he's starting to kind of come around to be like, hey, maybe I don't know everything. Because also in this press conference, he kind of broke down in tears talking about Jimmy Johnson and how he kind of fucked that situation up. And then he didn't pay Dak Prescott and paid Ezekiel Elliott, and then saw how last season went and paid Dak Prescott immediately. So this could be another huge thing. Maybe this should have been one of our narratives to kind of watch out for. Is Jerry Jones turning a corner? Is this man going to be like, all right, I don't know everything. Obviously, whatever I've been doing has not been working because we just cannot even get close to a Super Bowl. So I'm going to leave it all up to, the people that know football, that, get it done on a regular basis. Mike McCarthy, I know we do kind of, shit on him a little bit. A little lotly, little slightly a lot. But he did win a Super Bowl ring, so I still have to give the man credit. So maybe that's what Jerry Jones is doing here. He's like, all right, y'all always said it was me. And I thought that was blasphemous, but I can't deny the records that we've been going. So I'm going to give it to y'all this one year. I'm going to give it to y'all. But next year, if you're not getting it done, it's going right back to me. And I'm making all the calls out here. So maybe Jerry Jones is turning a little bit of a corner here and is acknowledging all of his past mistakes and is trying to move on to win that Super Bowl ring finally. The Cowboys applied their new lesson when they signed Prescott to a 4-year deal that will pay him $40 million per year. Whew, yes, sir. Get paid, Dak Prescott. Truly deserved, in our opinion. And, locked up for $160 million. No big deal. Bidding the lingering elephant in the room adieu while before the 2021 season arrived. Quote, I think Dak's rare, Stephen Jones said, Cowboys vice president. We made him the highest paid player in the league for a reason. He's unique, and he's got the numbers to back it up. Would like to see him have a couple more 4,000-yard years. Obviously, he only has that one, but I mean, that was just in 2019, so you would expect him to keep throwing for 4,000 yards plus, and then just unfortunately he gets injured in 2020, only plays 5 games, and in 5 games he passed for 1,800 yards, folks, in 5 games. That is 371 yards per game, folks. Absolutely magnificent. Let's just kind of get his track, because that may have broken. Is that going to break 6,000 yards? Is this math going to be right? What do we got? So 5 games, he had 1,800. There's 16 games in the schedule, so he missed 11 games, throwing for 371 yards per game. That's 4,000 yards. You add 1,856 to that. He's at, folks, Dak Prescott could have had the best year of all time. 5,900 yards. Could you imagine if Dak Prescott threw for 5,937 yards last season? Folks, Dak would have broken every single record. He would have been a 6,000-yard quarterback. That's never been even close to happening in this league. Oh, man. Dak got robbed of that last year, folks. Dak's not the issue. We can guarantee that. That's why he's not the narrative that we're watching for, folks. So we are truly big on Dak. He is unique. If the man threw for 5,900 yards last season, I would have already called that man the GOAT. I don't care. No rings. I don't care. You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT. Jeez, man. Yes, pay that man. Oh my God, 160 million. Jeez. All right, what else do we get here? With that out of the way, Dallas now has a clear objective in sight: to win a Lombardi trophy. Jerry Jones quote here. I'm not trying to be sacrilegious here, but the facts are that I would right now if I could, and I knew I had a good chance to do it. I would do anything known to man to get in a Super Bowl. So once again, Jerry Jones turning this corner, folks. I mean, he's admitting that he's wrong. He's admitting that he's fucked up in the past, and he just wants the Super Bowl. He knows time's ticking on him, and this, he's old. He's old, folks. We all know how old is Jerry Jones. What's his age? I don't want to be too disrespectful, but I'm gonna go high 80s. What do we got? Jerry Jones' age. Oh, man. Okay. A little younger for his age, but he's only 78. But he knows time's ticking, and he knows he needs to get to a Super Bowl fast to really just kind of cement his legacy here in Dallas. And he's admitting all of his wrongs, folks. All right, quote, that's a fact, and there's nothing in my mind that can have a higher priority than that, winning the Super Bowl, saying that he would do anything known to man to get in a Super Bowl. Hey, why don't you, sponsor our show? You said you do anything. Come sponsor our show. I'll get you to the Super Bowl. I can get you there. So sponsor us. We can get you that Super Bowl ring, Jerry. All right, last quote here by Jones. Quote, I feel as driven as I was when I first bought the team. I was scared to death then, and I'm scared to death now. I worry about what's happening out here in the economy, the COVID, and I worry about our place in the NFL and where that place is in sports. I worry about that. But the thing that means the most to me, that I care about, and I can probably be anywhere in the world, I want to be right now. I want to be here with our team. So we're hearing great things. Ezekiel Elliott's ready to kind of get it done. Dak Prescott, obviously we know he can get it done. Jerry Jones admitting his faults, and this could be a dangerous Dallas team. A dangerous Dallas team that just had the shit beat out of them last year, that really said, hey, y'all are not that great. Hey, hello, you're America's team, but you're actually kind of fucking trash. You're actually garbage out there. And they all are looking in the mirror, and they're like, yeah, we are kind of fucking trash. Let's go get this shit done, y'all. Let's go get this done. This may be the most humble Cowboys season in the entire history of the Cowboys franchise. This could be a little bit dangerous here. So after yesterday's press conference, I think we are buying the Cowboys a little bit more. And did they just kind of surpass the Giants in our kind of NFC East prediction? I think I'm loving the humbleability here. Everybody's humble, and I gotta love it, folks. I think I'm putting the Cowboys over the Giants so far. Man, oh man, I'm loving everything I was hearing right there. And Dak Prescott almost throwing for 6,000 yards is definitely the cherry on the top. Man, oh man. So watch out for the Cowboys, folks. The humble Cowboys are here. I don't even know if I would ever said those words ever in my entire lifetime if it was not for this article right here. The humble Cowboys are here, folks. Watch out for them. Jeez, man. Woo. Cowboys are going to be great this year, folks. Man, oh man, they may go undefeated. Damn. Damn.